Hello everybody, my name is Alex.
And I'm Jode.
And we're the AchieveMates, and we are going to be playing the Beginner's Guide once again. This game's been interesting so far, so we're going to pick it up and keep on going to see what happens.
If anything.
If anything. I mean, it seems to be a slow start, but it seems like that the whole point of the game is it's a bunch of small games that tell a larger narrative. So once we get further, we probably won't be able to tell what the narrative is.
I feel like the dude who made all these games, like, either was going through something, excuse me, or he had, like, some kind of emotion, and he was just, like, the way he expressed himself was making a short video game.
That's very... I'm glad you actually brought up that, because it's... sorry, we're getting off on a tangent. That brings up a very interesting point. People with autism and Asperger's and different forms of autism, they do that. Not necessarily video games, but they're emotionally inept in some ways. Like they have trouble portraying emotion, I guess like the average person would. So they usually have outlets in which they can release those emotions or express those emotions. So it's very interesting. So like kind of in that, I can see where like this could kind of fit in that. Not saying that that's what this is leading to, that the person had Asperger's or any kind of autism, but it's a very interesting idea. Like, he was kind of a loner that didn't know how to express himself, so he did it through the solitude of his computer games.
Right.
Interesting. Alright, so shall we begin?
Begin.
Or continue. Oh, okay. So, okay.
Hey, it's a house.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
What kind of gas
So in
does it
other
take?
words, the engine is a set of tools
How many
for
cylinders?
game development.
Does it take unleaded?
To make all of these games, Coda is using an
Supreme
engine called
unleaded.
Source.
What about diesel?
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is
hold on a second.
boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
What happens if you fall?
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
That's what happens.
You survived for once.
But
I was waiting for the narrator to be like, "Oh, damn it, you failed. Now we're gonna start all over from chapter 1.
Oh my god, I would quit the game right there. I'd be done. What? This reminds me. What? Okay. This reminds me of the train station in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the station where they make their house. I think it's in the first one or the second movie.
I think it's the second movie.
I think it's the second movie too.
Because I don't think they really have a place they stay at in the first one. And actually, I think
That's true. Because didn't they stay at April's for a while, and then
that was in the
second one as well?
I don't know.
What?
Because I know they. We'll talk about it later.
This audio is like really kind of fucking with me.
Hear that bass though, bro.
But
You can't go that way. You gotta go that way.
what? Huh?
It's a trap.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Oh, that's bullshit.
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
That seems like the ultimate screw you.
He was just like, oh, really, bitch? Really? He's like, play these box games and shut up.
That looks like a Halo level.
Yeah.
And not anymore.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
What was it? I forgot.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Do you have any idea how long this game is?
I think I was told that it's like roughly between an hour and 2. Like it's not super long.
Yeah.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Let's see. Oh, I guess I have to use the other 1, 2, 3, 2. Alright. So, I'm gonna go ahead and narrate this real quick. You there, did you come from up above? What was up there? And I chose. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? I'm gonna choose 3, because I'm an asshole. I prefer not to tell you, after all, we've only just met. What? But you don't understand. We're trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. Should I tell them? What think you?
I'd say tell him number 1.
Tell them about the puzzle?
No, number 1.
Number 1? You think you want to get through it, but trust me, you don't. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. Oh shit. Just pause it and read the last sentence for yourself.
Because once again, we can't read fast.
I can't read at all. Jody was actually reading that part.
I actually have a spot on Alex impersonation.
Hello. Do I have to do this again? No, I've been right here this entire time.
There's probably a certain sequence that you have to go through.
I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Not sure, but if I have any suspicions, what you find won't be worth what it takes to get there. God damn it, I missed the last one again. Alright. Down the stairs I go.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
This music's very ambient. I like it. Oh, dark. It's like I'm at a schoolyard.
It's a lamppost. Okay,
Thanks.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination. which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
All right. Oh, okay, there we go. I like the box head, guys.
So I wonder how long it took this guy to play through all of these games. Like, because you know he had to play more than what he put in here.
Yeah.
To play through every single one of Coda's games and decide, hey, I'm going to make a game out of these.
Yeah. I know, it's very interesting.
And, like, how long it took him to put them together in this order to where it all made sense to everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know, that's a very good point. Oh, what is this? Nice room. Not. Oh, asshole. That's not nice.
Psych!
It's like a Facebook took over a
So
video
first
game.
off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda.
Oh, so
This
he's
was
just like his
actually
own
the
asshole.
First game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like,
No point to this.
I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention.
Whoa,
I was
holy
over
shit.
enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
Can you guys hear me?
And I cooled off eventually.
Hello?
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you.
Reasonable.
Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Everyone
Either
read
way,
this.
to me they convey a sense
Hey.
of loneliness. I see this person
This makes me
who's filled
sad.
with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and
want to tell you a
has no
secret.
way to
Once upon a
express
time I
them
did.
except as scattered and unheard voices in a
fun.
game that wasn't meant to be played.
Balls.
Balls!
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
I don't know, box.
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less
Boring.
of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I'm curious. So, the game has a path that specifically wants me to walk this way, but I'm wondering if I can drop off and go that way. What? I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, that's a long sentence.
It's too damn long.
Aw, I can't go.
It's probably all connected somehow.
Cool cavern, bro. In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Do you feel like a hero yet? Do not be afraid. Do care. So if these were truly his thoughts, it seems like he has a very self-critical mindset towards himself. Because a lot of these are very much like cries for help in a way, like boring and sad, butt. Or you have those. I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. Notice me, senpai. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Free t-shirt.
There's always a free t-shirt.
Need other side. Door, why you so? Door, how open? Open sesame.
How do I door?
Makes game. Includes door. Can I open door? Thanks. Okay. Interesting. Someday we'll meet the person who made this. You are the person who made this.
There's so many speech bubbles.
Like, Jesus. It's not very crowded here. Oh, don't bother. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Oh, that's depressing. I don't think I'm gonna read many more of these. This is a note? Question mark?
This just goes to show you that you're more patient than I.
You would've gave up a long time ago.
Oh, I would have read like 10 of them and been like, fuck this.
I'm not safe. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, poop. What was that?
Hold on just a second. That was ghosting.
No.
I accidentally hit the shift key too much. Oops. Painting. What does it mean? With a bunch of dots. What do you say? Whoever made this has issues. I almost did it again.
What? Why do you keep pressing shift then?
Hoping I can run.
No.
Do you hear that? It's like whispering. Sorry, I had to turn up the volume for Jody so you could hear it.
It sounds more like,
Masturbating?
no.
Oh.
Like something rubbing against itself. There's a word for it, but
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
It's definitely whispering.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
The one guy who got past it. What the fuck is that? A bunch of typewriters?
typewriters. It's obviously a modern day office, Alex.
Duh. Speak. I'm speaking!
I'm pretty sure it said squeak.
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 Corn stars
Okay,
died
this
too.
one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for.
Okay. We have to end it here. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna do this every single fucking time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think of this game. We'd be curious to know what your interpretation of it is so far. I mean, it's interesting because the narrator is giving us an interpretation of it, but I'm convinced that that's not the real interpretation of the actual game. I feel like that the game is going to lead to something ultimately different at the end. That's just my opinion.
It's pretty obvious that it's like art.
Mhm.
It's I don't know how to explain it.
It's like open to interpretation.
Exactly.
I can get that. I can see
And
that too.
the only one who knows the real meaning is the artist.
True. Which is very interesting to me because not many games like this exist. So that's why I'm really curious about this.
Right.
So once again, thank you so much. If you like this game, wait for the outro to see the other games that we have. And like always, go out there and play some video games, you nerds.
Nerds.